You have to let go of some things in your life to move forward.
Yeah.
You have to find the ability to trust in the unknown, to be able to let go of what supposedly seems so familiar and comfortable.
Yeah.
But we can't maintain or stay there in growth.
Yeah. Thinkless. What are we not thinking enough about? Join us as we evaluate our thought life. I'm Parker, and I'm here with my co-host, Amber. Welcome to the show. Amber, you're wearing pink again.
It's my favorite color.
Well, black is my favorite color, so don't judge me.
Well, I'll try not to.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's fine.
Sometimes you just need to let go of what we think are our favorites because it's just what we get comfortable with, you know?
Are we talking about letting go?
We're talking about knowing when to let go.
Knowing when.
Knowing when to let go.
Knowing when to let go. That's so good. And like, what are we not thinking enough about in knowing when to let go? Like, when's the right timing on certain things?
Yeah.
I think that goes to so many areas in our life.
Yeah, it does.
I think it's so important too.
It is. It is. So I was thinking about why is it hard for me to let go of maybe responsibilities? Maybe even sometimes we need to let go of staff members, or maybe we need to let go of relationships, or there's a lot of things that knowing when to let go can be really hard because there's what I think comfortability and familiarity that just plays a strong role, and maybe why we don't. Maybe I can only speak for me. Is whenever it's difficult for me to let go, it's normally because the thing that I'm leaning on has become a crutch. And while there is dysfunction, in the very thing that I know I need to let go of, it can still feel like I almost have been able to function in the dysfunction for so long that it really actually starts to become normal. And while I'm still really frustrated, it's just kind of the way that it is. And letting go can be hard because for me, I want people to like me, and I also want that validation. And so I'm almost willing to function in the dysfunction for too long, for the fear of being hurt or rejected by someone too.
Yeah. And wouldn't you say that a part of knowing when to let go is you fear the unknown of letting go?
Yeah.
Like, what if I made a mistake? What if I should have kept it? What if I should have held on longer? Or what if it's not what I thought it was going to be on the other side of letting go of that thing?
Yeah.
Or severing that tie, or I mean, we're creatures of habit immensely, so letting go causes change. We don't like change. As much as we say we do like change, we are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
I mean, I love change, but on my terms.
Yes.
I mean,
I want to control and dictate the change.
Correct.
Yes.
And when I can't, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's hard. But it's absolutely necessary. I just had this conversation yesterday. It was so good. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was talking about how he was in a really toxic relationship, but just loved this person so much. And, he knew things were not going so well, and turmoil, chaos, all that was happening, but he just kept fighting for it. He kept fighting for it. And then finally it came to head that he was like, I got to let it go. Like, I just have to get this person out of my life because I need the chaos to stop. And he said it was one of the hardest things he's ever done. And he cut the person loose, been in a relationship a really long time. And he was like, the pain happens, right, when you choose to let go of something that you've loved or something that's been consistent or whatever in your life. But he's like, the freedom that followed was immeasurable. the peace that followed was immeasurable. And now it's like running without somebody, tying a rope around your waist and saying, head on out. It's the weight was lifted. And that is, I think, a crucial point in learning on when to let go. Just because you feel like, oh, but I love this thing, whether it's a person or a career or an item or something, whatever it is that you're holding on to. Oh, I just love it, or you enjoy it, or I like it, but it's dysfunctional. But you're like, what if I let go? And I wish I wouldn't let go. What if all that what ifs?
Yeah.
You almost have to work through the what ifs and then just say, but the bare bone truth is this isn't healthy, or this isn't good, or I keep saying I want out, or if I keep saying that this isn't healthy, or there's pain, or there's chaos, or there's distraction in that, doesn't mean that letting go is the end all be all.
Yeah.
But if you let go, that whole saying, if you let it go and it comes back, it's meant to be, right? The whole distance thing.
Oh, I thought you're going with let it go, let it go.
And you have small children. Yeah.
My son loves Olaf.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he's the
Olaf's
greatest.
the best.
He is. But one of the things I've learned in my life, too, is that old saying that's like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
So true. So, again, we'll go over for the 900th time that I'm a black and white, draw the line, all in, all out person. So when I get done with something, I'm done with it. Like, I throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. And a note about myself.
That is terrible.
And
that is terrible.
And I've really tried to be aware of that and understand it and try to do better at it.
Yeah.
So not make a knee-jerk reaction out of, I'm just letting it go.
Yeah.
Out of an emotional response to something.
Yeah.
But to actually consider and think through the processes of it and not let my emotions dictate when I let go of something or how I let go of something, so that I don't do more damage in the let go because I allowed myself to get to such a frustrated point in whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's like if you stay in a job too long and you just make everybody miserable at your job and your attitude's bad and you're sour and then you wonder why they don't throw you a good go away party. Well, yeah, because you stayed too long.
Yeah.
You held on too long.
Yeah.
Should have let go, or you should have put firmer boundaries. I mean, that's also a thing. And in a relationship, you can do the same thing. It just depends on what you're letting go of. But I've learned to try to not let my emotions dictate when I let go.
I think that's brilliant because I think the reality is our feelings, or we could say our emotions, do dictate so much of decisions that we make, or in this case, when to let go, when not to let go, where it's like, and I think that is a telltale sign that maybe we should let go.
Yeah.
Whenever we're like, feel those emotions of, I'm going to disappoint someone, or this is going to be hard, or whenever some of those things come up, maybe that is the indicator that it is time to let go.
But I would say that emotions aren't truth. Emotions aren't truth. Emotions are reactions. So I can be married and we can get in a fight and I'm like, you're super pissed off at that person. Does it mean you don't love them anymore?
Yeah.
Or it just means you're mad at them?
Yeah.
Just means you're mad at them. So your feelings aren't truth.
Yeah.
They're just a reaction to how you feel at the moment. That's why I say whether I let go or not cannot be dictated by my emotions. I need to go back and go, why am I so frustrated? Why am I feeling these things? Because emotions are a reaction to a response of something we've done.
Yeah.
They are not a good leader. They are a follower.
Yes.
So that tells me if I'm super uber frustrated, something is causing that frustration. So let's say I'm frustrated. We'll go back to my career. If you're frustrated in your career, and this is what in parenting too. If I'm frustrated with my child, if I'm frustrating in my job, I have to not go, and just blow up and then just let go. Yeah. So your feeling goes away. when that may not have been the best thing. Maybe it was, well, it's because I'm not actually communicating with my boss properly. And so that frustration's coming because the lack of communication is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm able to not be in the emotion, I come back and what is causing the emotion, and then say, well, I'm frustrated because I'm not communicating enough. Therefore, I can't do my job the way that I feel like I should, and the expectation's coming on me, and I feel like I'm letting somebody down. And you work through that, then you're like, oh, I don't need to quit. I don't need to let go of this job.
Yeah.
I need to fix the communication between me and my boss so that I can do my job properly.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned in the maturity and growth of when to let go of something is I need to not react in what is already a reactive.
Yes.
Which is your emotions.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Now, if you are feeling those things, that should be an indicator that you should evaluate where is that stemming from?
Yeah.
Should I let go or not let go?
Yeah. I think that's a better way to say it, as far as using it as an indicator.
Yeah.
Versus of evaluation versus just a hard kind of black or white, like, okay, this is the time to let go. Because so whenever my wife and I, whenever we moved here to Texas, we were in North Carolina, and we were in a great community with a great job, and everything was really, really good there. We had, some of our best friends were there, and so it was good. But we knew that coming here, whenever we were evaluating, like, once again, kind of those feelings coming up of like, oh, like, do we need to let go from what it is we're doing here in order to set ourselves up with the values and the circumstances in which we want to raise our family in, which was around family, which my wife's family's here. And so we're evaluating both options of, well, what if we stayed? What would that look like? But also, what if we went? What would that look like? And it was very much what if. So we didn't live in the what ifs, or make our decision in the what ifs, but we were looking at, okay, what is it that we value, and what decision do we need to make from that? So it was objective versus more like, oh, I'm drawn to this, or I feel like I need to do this, or I don't want to disappoint the people that we're leaving here. I don't want to disappoint. Like, the reality is, either way, we're disappointing someone. So whether if we stayed in North Carolina and didn't move here to be with my wife's family, we were disappointing the family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're disappointing both. So I feel like if in that objective viewpoint that we're like, okay, what is it that we value? So we value family. We value our children, future children, knowing their aunts and uncles, and knowing their grandparents, and like, that's what we value. So where do we want to be? So what do we need to let go of in order to be in the position that we want to be in? And so I feel like, as you're saying, that it's whenever the emotions come up, evaluate it. But how can we look at things kind of objectively for what is it that we value, or who is it the person that we want to be, and then let go of the past version, or let go of the circumstance, or let go of the career, or let go of the specific thing that we need to let go of in order to be in the position, the place that we know we need to be.
Have you ever seen that meme of the rope that's across the water, and that little boy is holding on to the rope, and he's got his legs up over the rope, and he's screaming bloody murder?
No.
It's so funny.
Can you pull this up?
It is so
Should
funny.
I try to pull it up?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Say that one more time.
It's this little kid that's on, it's like a rope, and there's like a river, and there's all these people around, and the little boy's holding on, and he's got his feet up on the rope, and he's screaming and crying, and his mom comes over and pushes his legs down. He stands up. And it was like, you're holding on so tight out of fear of the water underneath you.
Some of these pictures that are coming up are real great. And I don't think any of them are them, because what I typed in did not make any sense. Rope and river and little boy holding on to rope. Meme. Okay, continue on.
But it is so true. that we hold on so tight to things that out of fear of the unknown, out of fear of what if it's the wrong choice, what if we want that back, what if it's not the right timing, like all the things that it's like, yeah, but just stand up and you'll have freedom. You'll let go. You can walk across it. Like we don't need you to shimmy across this little rope all the way across the thing. It's to balance with, to go across. You know, it's not actually to hold on so tightly. There's also the meme where there's the one where
we got the meme queen in the house.
where it's like they're holding on so tight to the rope, and it's like there's the one of the example of the glass. You're holding the glass and like, oh, this isn't that heavy. Hold it for like an hour.
Yeah.
And it becomes like so heavy. Or you're holding on so tightly to the rope, but your dreams are at the next ring of the rope, but you won't let go to get to it. You know, like you have to let go of some things in your life to move forward.
Yeah.
You have to find the ability to trust in the unknown, to be able to let go of what supposedly seems so familiar and comfortable.
Yeah.
But we can't maintain or stay there in growth.
Yeah.
You know, so it's finding the ability to let go. I would say for me, that is to let go of a situation where you're not 100% sure of what's going to happen on the other side of that decision, and you run every scenario possible of what could happen, and you're like, ooh, I actually don't want any of those, but it's necessary that I do it, and I know that. You know, you get stuck in that. What helps you get over that? What helps you have courage to take what I would call a leap of faith, to let go? You know, there's that, you know, people say when I started the studio, it was like, I tell people all the time, I jumped off the cliff, literally, in hopes that something was going to catch me when I would take flight. Like, there would have to be some sort of, because I did not understand, or have like a whole master plan of like, I'm going to jump and then all these things are going to happen and I know exactly how it's going to work out. I didn't know those things.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the letting go, that's required of us.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
Well, and you said this word trust. And so this book, Speed of Trust, and it talks about like letting go, and kind of course, this book is specifically talking about like maybe letting go of responsibilities. You know, obviously we're leaders. You and I are leaders in various capacities, and so it's like it can be easy to hold on to the things and responsibilities, and for the fear of you know, maybe things not getting done to the way that maybe we would do them, and ultimately it's a control thing that I would say all leaders kind of struggle with in one way or another. But this talks about the speed in which we trust somebody else depicts how fast we move organizationally, how fast we move relationally, and so how can we move forward faster as a, once again, organization, as a relationship, as a corporation, not like whatever. But it matters in the speed in which we trust. So if we start from a place just relationally of like, I trust you, like, because so often it can be easy, like you need to prove yourself to me in order for me to trust you. So there's like this evaluation period where there's time that like, okay, like prove yourself that you're trustworthy. Prove to me that you're trustworthy. But this kind of poses the thought that like, no, I start from like, no, I either hired you or I'm in a friendship with you, and I'm starting from a place of like, no, I trust you. Almost like prove to me that you're not trustworthy.
Right. So therefore, if you trust somebody, you're able to let go of things to them because you trust the scenario of
Totally.
them. So it's a whole different ball game. I find that when you're not able to let go of something in that sense, it's usually because there's a lack of trust.
Yeah.
And the lack of trust causes you to hold tighter.
Yes.
To whatever you're holding on to, instead of releasing. I can think of an example just recently where with a big event, we just did a big event and we have another big event coming up, but it all changed 10 days out. It was supposed to be a big event, but we weren't supposed to have as much to do with the event from the studio side. We were supporting someone else, and then it all changed, and they were like, but we want you to take and run this event. And my little excellence meter kicked in like tenfold, and I was like, and then I was hell to deal with. I'm not gonna lie, I was hell to deal with for a good 24 hours, man. I mean, I was just like, I mean, I was just on everybody, and about a day of that, and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I out of my mind right now? Yeah. Let's reevaluate this for a second. Because I'm like, I can't let go of this. I have to hold on to this stuff. I have to be at the helm of this thing, and I've got to run this thing, and I got to hold toe because the expectation's on me now, and da-da-da. And then that's when I say I had to get out of my emotion and go like, okay, you need to calm down, ma'am. Yeah. Calm down. Like, what are you doing? And what's more important to you? Being excellent or people? Okay. So
that's a real question.
That's a real one. That's a hard one because Jesus tells us that it is our relationships and that we can't bullnose over people just to hit to an excellent bar because that's not excellent. Yeah. That's damage. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I need to let go of something that I'm not 100% sure what I need to let go of. And I need like God to give me wisdom in this. So I just took some time and reevaluated what was going on in the whole situation and what did I need to let go of and what unnecessary expectations had I put on myself. Yeah. And what did I need to set some clear boundaries in to go, this is all I'm willing to do because this is all I'm willing to have time to do in a healthy, good kind of way. Yeah. And that's what we all want. Yeah. You know, I mean, nobody was asking me to panic. Yeah. I mean, by no means. And so that was my interpretation of wanting to hold so tightly to everything and keep the control and keep everything perfect and, you know, excellent and da-da-da-da. Yeah. That I was like, hey, this is not worthy of all of that. Reevaluate it. Yeah. So in that, I get the letting go. The letting go is so hard for me. You know, and we did another episode another time about weaknesses and what are your weaknesses, and I probably wouldn't have said letting go was one of my weaknesses, but after diving into the conversation I would say letting go is probably one of my weaknesses. Well, I mean, it's just something that I say is hard for me. Yeah. Something that, this again, why I said in the weakness episode that I don't really see anything as weaknesses. I see them as struggles, and then I see how that means I got to grow in it. You know, I think they're heightened growth areas. Yeah. And so letting go is one of those areas that I definitely have grown in over the years. Whoa. Yeah. I was not so gracious in my letting go. Yeah. And now I'm able to process that better. And I think if you're one of those people that holds so tightly to things, praying through that and putting some processes around the let go stage, you know, if you've got something. And here's the other thing. I've done so much dive into yourself, try to figure out your own issues of life that it's like, I know me. I know whether I should let go or I shouldn't let go. I know ultimately I won't say I'm going to do it till I know that I actually will do it. You know, like I'm the one that's like, everybody's like going on the diet. You will not ever hear me say I'm going to go on the diet unless 100% I know I'm going to go on the diet. Yeah. Because I hold myself accountable to what I say. Yeah. So I have to build up my internal willingness to let go. Because when I say I'm going to let go, you don't have to ask me again.
I'm letting it all go.
It's gone. It's gone. I'm letting it go. Yeah. It's getting me to the point to where I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Because I know when I say it, I'm going to do it.
Well, the beautiful part of letting go is like, obviously so this is what I'm holding on to. And then I let go of it. And then my hand actually is open again to receive something else. So it's like, I can't receive anything unless I let go.
The Lord gave me that exact word. That's the exact word he gave me.
And it's like, what are the things that ultimately I feel like, yes, am in control over? Like, I use those quotations. If you're listening, I'm using quotations right now over my control.
Sarcastically quotations.
Yes. Because it's like the control that I think I have, I really don't.
No.
You know? And so it's like the things that I'm holding, I'm actually probably choking rather than helping. And so even seeing like my grip as something like, I'm not actually helping this by holding this. I may be hurting it by holding. And that can be, once again, that can be a relationship that I'm holding on to, that I know that, or that can be a career, that can be a responsibility. It can be the smallest little thing. And this quote, I've said this quote so much, I maybe have said it on here. I don't even know, because I feel like I say this thing a lot just to remind me. But it was one of my friends. His name is Greg, and he's one of my best friends, but he's also a kind of a coach and mentor to me too. I mean, I love him dearly, but he helps me tremendously. And he said, Parker, if it depends on you, so ultimately, if you're the one holding it and you're the only one holding it, then you're not leading it, you're limiting it. And once again, I probably have said that on Thinkless before at some point, maybe, but that rings true so much, because it's like, like the thing, like I am the ceiling, I am the lid in whatever it is. And the more that I can let go, and the more that I can operate from a place of trust, then I'm able to go further, faster, just as much as the person I'm leading, or the team I'm on, or the responsibility that's in my hand, or the relationship that I'm in, whatever that is. So those, like seeing the things that I'm holding as I'm probably hurting or choking more than I'm helping.
You know, it's interesting you say that the Lord gave me those exact words, that you're holding on so tightly and yet praying for me to give you all these things.
That's so true. Yeah.
But you don't have a hand to receive them in.
Yeah.
Amber.
Yeah.
You're going to have to let go of what's in your hand currently that I'm asking you to let go of.
So hard.
So that I can give you what you're praying for.
Yeah.
But here's how that works. You're holding on so tight. I'm like, no, I know. I just got to hold on to this. I just got to hold on to this. You know, you hold on for dear life. And I'm that hard-headed, don't quit, don't give up, stay to it. Perseverance wins the race, blah, blah, blah. You know, so like, don't let go, don't let go.
All the cliches.
Yes.
All the cliches on it.
Don't let go, don't let go, don't let go. And then I'm like, Lord, why won't you give me? Like, you've spoke these words over my life.
Yeah.
You've said I'm going to do these things with my life.
Yeah.
These are your promises. Your words never void. Like all these things. And he's like, hey, you down there, let go. I need you to let go.
Yeah.
Let go to what you just hold on to so tight.
Yeah.
And when I let go, it's inevitably when I quit doing my crying, kicking around, screaming, and I'm like, fine, whatever you want to do in my life, I'm willing. It always comes. It always comes. And I'm like, right.
How can we get to that place faster? Faster.
I mean, and that's the idea, you know, how do we let go? What are the things hindering us from letting go? How do we do self-evaluation in our let go? What are our thoughts in letting go? What are some shortcomings in it? And then how do we practice letting go at the smaller things to do better at the bigger things?
Yes.
You know?
All right. So for the person listening, for the person watching, the thing that you need to ask yourself is, what do you today need to let go of practically in order to receive something greater in your hands? So, all right. Cool.
Let go of
easy.
Something.
Done. Yeah. Just let go. Just let go. Shut up. Let go.
Like that. I just said it's the hardest thing in my life.
Shut up.
Let's do that.
Shut up. I love it. All right. Yeah. Let go of something today. We love y'all.
Alrighty.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Thinkless. We release an episode every Wednesday morning, so be sure to like, subscribe, share, or leave a review. It would mean so much. We appreciate you. Thank you.